All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Dion's Daily Dose. I am here with my friend Shawn. Welcome, Shawn.
Hello, everybody.
We're going to talk about the horrible tragedy that occurred at Reagan International Airport, just outside of Reagan International Airport. This was last night, right? So, as I'm sure you've heard by now, there was a crash between a Blackhawk Army helicopter and a civilian airliner, a plane. It's happened just before the plane was supposed to land, I believe.
Yeah.
It was coming in for lining up with the runway. Anyway, we can talk about it all day, but as they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. I wonder how much video is worth. We have an adequate video, I would call this. Now, this particular one's from Fox News, but the footage is everywhere. I'm not even going to play the audio for you because it's them telling you what you're seeing, which you can easily see. Where you guys are going to be looking if you haven't seen this already. So this little bright dot here is the airliner, and this little dimmer dot over here is the Blackhawk helicopter. So keep an eye on. You'll see the helicopter approaching, and you'll see the airliner here. Now, me personally, it looked like this helicopter pulled up, increased altitude, and then struck right here the airliner. Horrific tragedy. I'm going to tell you, my heart goes out to everyone affected. If you had friends, family on the flight, or even the helicopter, very, very sorry for your loss. If we go a little further, they're going to. Okay. Yeah. They show you again. Here's the helicopter here to the left. Here's the airliner, the flight. And we got some interesting addendums to this information. Again, there's the helicopter, and there is the airliner. I just don't see how this could be accidental. And I'll tell you why here in just a minute. Let me see. There it is. This is what I was looking for. So this is this is as zoomed in as they can get it. There's the helicopter way over here. It's shaky. This is the airliner. And I'm showing this so you guys can see. It looks, there's only a certain amount of altitude they have, but it looks to me like there was a change in altitude. Look at that. Now, as wild as that is, take a look here. This is actually the flight path of both vehicles. Here's the American Airlines 5342 is the flight, and it came this way. And apparently the Army helicopter was making some very unusual flight patterns. And real quick, I just want to show you guys something. So I know it's kind of hard to see, but if you guys take a look, there is so much visibility. They have glass, plexiglass, whatever panels above them that are clear, below them that are clear, massive windshields. I mean, look at this thing. If you're how can you not see an airliner? That's what I'm saying. Now, if the helicopter had been up And maybe, just maybe, the airliner was at a certain angle, like right here. Okay, maybe, but it was a direct. Like, I genuinely don't understand how this could have been accidental. But going back to this, shows the two. Now here's the American Airlines 5342 flight path, fairly standard. Here's the helicopter flight path. It came down this way, up, boom, 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 boom. Very weird. Is it out of the ordinary? I have no way of knowing what the ordinary route is like. But one thing is out of the ordinary, and that is, according to Fox News, staffing at Reagan Washington National Airport Air Control Tower was, quote, not normal on night of collision. According to a reporter, the controller who was handling helicopters was also instructing planes that were landing and departing from runways. Now, was that a contributing factor? Let's see. Shows everything, and where's it at? It says an internal preliminary report from the FAA, Federal Aviation Administration, reportedly showed that the number of staff members working at the air control tower at Ronald Reagan National Airport in Arlington, Virginia was, quote, not normal for the time of day and volume of traffic. Well, okay, what does that mean? On Wednesday night, an American Airlines plane, we know what happened, right? All 67 people presumed to be dead. One air traffic controller was working two positions at the time of the crash. Typically, the two assignments are split between two air traffic controllers, not just one. Okay, so maybe this occurred because someone was trying to juggle too many jobs. It says the position configuration was not normal for the time of day and volume of traffic, the report says. FAA did not immediately respond. The air control tower at Reagan Airport has been understaffed for years, with 19 fully certified controllers as of September 2023. However, staffing targets set by the FAA and the controllers union call for 30.
Wow.
So incredibly understaffed, just incredibly. So what do we know about this? Well, according to this, no survivors. Many of the victims have yet to be publicly identified. The plane, which was American Eagle, sorry, I keep saying American Airlines, American Eagle flight number 5342, a regional jetliner, was carrying 60 passengers and 4 crew members on a flight from Wichita, Kansas. There were 3 soldiers aboard the U.S. Army's Sikorsky H-60, a Defense Department official told CBS News. Department of Columbia Fire and Emergency Medical Services Chief John Donnelly told reporters in a news briefing Thursday morning that 27 bodies had been recovered so far from the plane and 1 from the helicopter. He said that the efforts at the scene have switched from a rescue to a recovery. All right. They say the same thing. American Eagle and PSA Airlines are subsidiaries of American Airlines.
Okay.
That's why it has an AA designation. Okay. I kept calling it American Airlines because of that AA designation, but it turns out it actually is because they're owned by them. The helicopter involved in the collision was on a training flight and had belonged to B Company, 12th Aviation Battalion out of Fort Belvoir in Virginia. I don't even know. I don't know for sure how to say
Belvoir.
Is it Belvoir? Belvoir?
I don't know.
Belvoir. Anyway, JTF National Capital Region Media Chief Heather Chirez told CBS News. A live stream camera at Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. captured the moment of the collision. The video, which all importantly, guys, it has been verified by CBS News. Well, that sets my mind at ease immediately. We all know CBS is anyway. Look, guys, they said they got recovered 27 bodies so far and 1 from the plane. They don't think there are any survivors. And they say it's a highly complex operation. The conditions out there are extremely rough for the responders. It's cold. They're dealing with relatively windy conditions. CBS News senior transportation and national correspondent Chris Van Cleve reported that human remains and debris were washing up on the Virginia side of the Potomac River. He said that the plane broke into multiple pieces that were sitting in 5 to 8 feet of water, which doesn't sound that deep. 5 to 8 feet, right? I mean, are you standing 5 feet? Now imagine it's really cold. There's all this other traffic around, and there's flaming debris and everything else. That's 5 to 8 feet is deeper than than it's not a puddle, put it that way. It says a dive team found what appears to be one of the plane's 2 data recorders, the so-called black boxes. It wasn't clear whether it was the cockpit voice recorder or the one that stores data about the plane's performance. Divers have had some access to the aircraft's cabin. Luggage is among items the divers recovered. Helicopter is upside down, but appears to be mostly intact, Van Cleve added. What we know about the plane crash victims. Top figure skaters from Russia and the United States, including 6 people with ties to the Skating Club of Boston, were among the victims. Athletes Jenna Hahn and Spencer Lane, their mothers Jin Hahn and Christine Lane, and skating coaches Vadim Nomov and Evgenia Shishkova were all on board the flight, said Doug Zagibi, the skating club's CEO and executive director. They were returning home from the National Development Camp, which was held in connection with the recent U.S. Figure Skating Championships in Wichita. Spencer Lane's father, Rhode Island resident Douglas Lane, told CBS affiliate WPRI his 16-year-old son was a, quote, force of nature who picked up figure skating just 3 years ago and progressed rapidly. Douglas Lane described his wife, Christine, as a caring and creative person who excelled in graphic design, photography, and quilting. Nomov and Shishkova, a couple, are Russian-born figure skaters who won the 1994 World Figure Skating Championship and had been coaching at the club. That's pretty awesome, dude. They shared a son, Maxim Nomov, who was a competitive skater on Team USA.
Sad that they died.
Yes. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov confirmed earlier that Nomov and Shishkova were on the flight along with other Russian nationals. That's going to be a problem.
That's what I was thinking.
Another victim in the crash, Asra Hussein Raza, had been recently relocated to Washington, D.C. for a consulting position and was traveling home from a work trip when the collision occurred. Her father-in-law, Hashim Raza, told CBS News. The 26-year-old was a graduate of the University of Indiana and Columbia University, her father-in-law said. 4 members of a Maryland-based labor union, the Steamfitters United Association Local 602, were also on the flight, union leaders said in a social media post Thursday. The union represents heating, air conditioning, refrigeration, and process piping industries in the D.C. metro area. The crew chief of the helicopter was identified as 29-year-old Ryan O'Hara, CBS News learned Thursday. O'Hara was a husband and father to a 1-year-old son, his local Reserve Officers Training Corps program said in a social media post about his death. And of course, politicians said various things. But this is the first major U.S. commercial crash in almost 16 years. The last one was February 2009 when a Continental Airlines flight out of Newark, New Jersey, operated by Colgan Air, crashed into a house as it was approaching the airport in Buffalo, New York. That plane was a Bombardier Q400. 49 people died in the tragedy. Continental merged with United in 2010. The last major American Airlines crash occurred in November 2001 near John F. Kennedy International Airport. American Airlines flight number 587, an Airbus A300, wasn't that the one? Wait a minute. Crashed shortly after takeoff, killing 265 people. It was bound for Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. The plane crashed in the Bell Harbor area of the Rockaways in the New York City borough of Queens. Hey, Shawn, wasn't that the one that people were saying a missile was launched at it?
I don't know if it was that one, but I remember it was right after 9/11.
Yeah, it was.
People at first thought it was another terrorist attack, but I don't know if it was the. Might have been.
Let me see.
That was so long ago. 2000. Oh, you need more than that.
Oh yeah, I need more than that. What was it? Flight.
2001.
Hold on, I didn't need the flight. Whoops. I had it. 1 second. There it is. Okay, flight 587. Okay, hold on.
Yep, here.
Okay, so yeah, people are saying all kinds of
that.
stuff, huh?
I said, yeah, I remember that.
Oh, it's asking me this. I'm not doing that. All right. Anyway, so here we go. This is an older article about it, but I'll share it with you. This is from the New York Post, and it says Flight 587 witnesses. What the heck happened there? 587 witnesses blast feds. Witnesses of Flight 587. What do they say? New Yorkers who believe they saw American Airlines Flight 587 explode in flames before its tail sheared off have accused crash investigators of ignoring their eyewitness accounts and prematurely ruling out a terrorist attack. Have you seen this?
I
or heard about
it? But it's been so long.
So this was December 16th, 2004.
I kind of do.
New Yorkers, 6 witnesses, including a recently retired police lieutenant, an FDNY deputy chief, and a former firefighter, have written to the NTSB demanding that they be called to testify at a public hearing. Tom Lynch, 59, a retired firefighter, said he has also spoken to 18 other people who saw the Airbus A300 flying on fire before it crashed into houses, killing 265 people. Saw a bright orange ball of flame streaking from the right side of the plane. And it goes on, but there are articles about it. This is pretty short. But really, there are those who claim they saw a missile strike the plane. Obviously, if that happened, I'm not saying it did, but if that's the case, that's an interesting connection between that's the last American Airlines major flight or major crash, right? That's what it said. Yeah. So that is very, very interesting. That's all I can say about it, because that's all we have to go on.
And people shouldn't be scared about this, because flying is still the safest way to travel.
Right. So I think that was even what Trump said when he was, matter of fact, let's see here.
I didn't hear him say that, but he could have.
I'm pretty sure he said, where is it at? Maybe not. Someone said that flying was still, I'm pretty sure it was Trump, but it might've been later. He said that flying is still the safest way to travel, and basically talked about don't be afraid. The same thing he said. Let's see. Trump crash flying safe. You know, dude. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay. Of course, Google. That's
There it is. I see it. Flying is very safe.
Right. Yeah. Here it is. Thank you.
It's a Canadian news channel.
Flying is very safe. He was asked if he should be hesitant.
Not even our media.
Right. Of course, it's never our media.
On his question, the first question, should people be hesitant to fly right now?
No, not at all. I've not hesitated to fly. This is something that it's been many years that something like this has happened. And the collision is just something that we don't expect ever to happen again. We are going to have the highest level people we've already hired. Some of the people that you've already hired for that position, long before we knew about this, I mean, long before, from the time I came in, we started going out and getting the best people, because I said it's not appropriate what they're doing. I think it's a tremendous mistake. You know, they like to do things and they like to take them too far. And this is sometimes what ends up happening. Now, with that, I'm not blaming the controller. I'm saying there are things that you could question, like the height of the helicopter, the height of the plane being at the same level, going in opposite directions. It's not a positive. But no, we're already hiring people. No, flying is very safe. We have the safest flying anywhere in the world, and we'll keep it that way. Thank you all.
He's right.
He is, and I want to clarify on that. That said, I don't think you could pay me enough to get on an airplane right now with all the Boeing DEI.
True.
Their planes falling the frick apart. Yeah, I'm
with
good.
Boeing. Yeah,
with Boeing. Yeah, certainly on a Boeing. There's no way
no.
you could get me on a. You'd have to put it this way. You'd have to give me the money in advance and have a really solid policy, life insurance policy on me, and then my family would be hooked up. That's the only way I would consider it.
I still think it's the safest way to travel, but with Boeing,
right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Is the other manufacturers, man, Airbus, no problem, stuff like that. But Boeing, nah, bruh, nah, I'm good. So look, we're making light, because sometimes you have to, right? Making light of stuff is the way that, at least me, that's how I deal with stuff. Because truck drivers have generally pretty dark humor. Correctional officers, police officers, firemen, EMTs, they all have very dark humor. Why? Because you have to. You got to develop some kind of coping mechanism. So that's kind of what happened. But let's talk about this. Let's talk about this accident, right? Because nothing, there's no evidence that it was anything other than an accident at this point. I'm very evidence-based. Let's start with the evidence, right? The evidence says that it was an unusual shift. Why? Not enough people. They had somebody running two different things when it sounds like that's not good. And interestingly enough, what were they running? The landings of aircraft and helicopter traffic. Was there a mistake made where they put people at the same elevation, altitude? It's possible. That is possible. Nobody needs any conspiracy theories for that. I mean, mistakes happen.
We're all human, yeah.
And that's the thing. We are all human, even because Trump's obviously claiming DEI is responsible, right? Diversity is the
equity
the
and
culprit.
inclusion.
Yeah. That's the culprit. Because of DEI policies, we had a plane crash. Now, I think there are far greater examples out there of this actually happening, like the Navy ship. I think it was New Zealand Navy, where the captain ran the boat aground, had no idea what she was doing. There's plenty of others, but we don't know anything about the air traffic controller at this point. How do we know they were a diversity hire? We don't. It sounds like overworked, not enough staff, which is, and I've actually heard for a long, long time, like that article said, like 19 years, they've been short-staffed. I think, right?
Did it say 19 years?
It's been a long time. Let's go back and check it out. Wait, that's the wrong one. 19, yeah. Oh, no, hold on.
September 2023.
Okay. So for years with 19 fully certified controllers as of September 2023. So a year and a half at least, they've been short-staffed.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if you're working at a gas station and you're short-staffed, there's a little bit bigger line, right? People get annoyed. Customers get salty, but nobody's going to lose their life because you're short-staffed at the gas station. I think. I mean, but short-staffed on air traffic control is a much, much different.
That's a major
entity.
problem.
That's a huge problem. So maybe it's time to shed some light on this. Maybe it's time for people to be aware of the issues that are present, because I have heard that this is a super hard, super stressful, crazy job, man. I don't know if you guys know any air traffic controllers, but what I've read, what I've seen on how involved this job is, it's this whole thing, man. It's crazy hard. Like, you got to juggle so many different things at once. It could be as simple as somebody got tired and mixed up some numbers. And at the same time, though, I want to be very clear. Air traffic control in and of itself is a very, very tough job that the people are highly trained to do. But mistakes happen. People are human, man. It happens. Maybe it was that. On the other hand, maybe it was more. All I'm saying is in a Blackhawk, which I've shown you guys, you got really good visibility in that thing, man. Like really good visibility. Of course, we don't have up close footage. It's hard to see a jerk or a weave from that distance from either of the flying vehicles, right? Either of the aircraft could have easily made moves that we can't see from the distance the cameras are. So I can't speak to that. But based on us watching, I don't know, man. It looked like there was an altitude change for the helicopter, but also open to interpretation. We don't have, like, I'm not somebody who has access to the programs where you can like put it up there and then it tells you the height based on all the surrounding features. And have you seen that stuff, man? They can do all that. So if you take, especially video, but if you take a picture of someone, right? There's these various programs you can run it through where based on the length of the shadow and where it is and the time of day, it'll figure out like exactly where it's at and like the altitude, like how tall a person is, everything. And it's fast too. Like used to, this kind of processing would take a while. Now it's like instant. Wow. Freaking plug it in, done. There you go. There's all the info you want. I don't have that. So, but I'm sure that people are going to start using stuff like that to analyze the footage, to analyze the moments leading up so that they can figure out exactly what happened. And once again, I think the fact that there were nationals from any other country is very unfortunate because it takes us from a domestic to an international event. And
we'll see what Putin does.
Exactly. We'll see what Putin does. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, anything else you want to say about this?
Just a sad tragedy.
It is. And I hope that if any of you are watching the video that are friends with any of the individuals that lost their lives in this, my heart goes out to you.
There'll probably be a congressional hearing about this.
I'm betting there will. I mean, this is a pretty major deal, dude. Like, and a military helicopter was involved. So there's going to have to be some kind of investigation. Like, this isn't something they can just go, oh, yeah, it's human error, but everything's fine now. We fixed it. No, this is going to require a much greater degree of scrutiny. All right, guys. We'll see you again real soon. As you may or may not know, I am currently on a sabbatical. I have to go to my grandmother's celebration of life. So more than likely this video is scheduled and running, and I'll see you guys again live very, very soon. Without further ado, God bless you. God bless Indiana, and God bless the United States of America. I hope you have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you again real soon.
If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose. This has been Dion's Daily Dose, hosted by Dion Bergeron. Executive producers, Shawn Holmgren and Michael Beebe. Copyright 2024. Dion's Daily Dose, all rights reserved.